Hello, it is I, Brandon, the Starseed. I am back. It has been like 2 months since I've done a video, and I apologize for that. It's um, it's been a little bit weird. Combination of holidays and then New Year and then now it's 2020. Yeah, it's weird. So I guess we can talk about whatever, because I didn't really prepare anything. But it's sunny, so the main reason I wanted to do a video is because it's I've tried to do videos, I swear, like every weekend for like the last several weeks I have tried, but it is like pouring rain every single time, and I don't really like doing these indoors for some reason. I don't know why. It just doesn't. It's like not conductive to like my energy. So I tend to like to do these outside as much as possible. So today it is clear and sunny-ish. So, hey, it's me. So I guess we'll talk about something I've noticed is that I suffer from kind of like a seasonal depression kind of thing, where from right after Christmas until probably about now, I tend to be a little bit or a lot depressed. I just kind of like lose motivation for like normal things in life, like playing video games just kind of bores me. Watching TV shows and movies just kind of bores me. Like I just kind of don't have like a spark for things. And it's not like always that way. And I think so. Like last year, I didn't really experience this because like my grandfather passed away, and I got like a new job like at the same time, at the beginning of January. So like in 2019. So it like they offset each other, and I think I just became kind of like, ooh, motorcycles, cool. I think I just became kind of numb, like emotionally, for like the first couple of months of last year. I didn't really notice. This year, not so much. I'm a little bit more on the downside. I don't even know how to explain it, but the main thing is just like the spark in my brain that keeps me motivated, that keeps me like passionate about things and excited, and it's kind of like not it's not there right now. And I think part of it is weather. I really do feel like sunlight helps me feel better, and so the more sun that I can get, and the longer the days get, the more likely that I will start to snap out of it. That's why I'm out today in sunlight. I'm trying to snap out of it. So for those of you who know me and who have been like talking to me or whatever, like on a personal level, I'm sorry that I've been kind of weird this last couple of months. This is, I guess, normal for me this time of year. I really do think it's a good point, though, that starseeds in general tend to experience emotional conflict tied to the lack of seeing the sun, more so than other people. Starseed meaning that we're from another place. Our link to the universe and to the entire universe is through the sun. Like the sun's magnetic energy connects to all the magnetic energies of all the other parts of the universe, and so being on this planet and connecting to the sun is the closest we can get to connecting to home, I guess. And so I think that feeling of not seeing the sun brings up a really deep feeling of like loneliness and missing home, like homesickness. And it doesn't make sense. I mean, I am home. I'm not lonely. I mean, my wife is with me literally like almost every day, all the time, especially like when I'm working from home, I'm around her all the time as well. So I'm never really alone. Like right now, this moment, I'm alone. But this is like rare for me. Like usually I'd say 80% or more of my days I'm with people, or I have people around me, or I'm on the phone with people, or I'm interacting with people. So I don't understand why I feel lonely all the time. That's a weird one. Because it goes away. Like usually between now and like my birthday, I start to snap out of it and I start feeling better. And from like May all the way through like summer, I'm like groovy. Like I'm good, like emotionally like stable. Like And then it starts to kind of I start feeling it around Halloween, right? And then like Thanksgiving happens and I'm like, oh, it's coming. I feel it. And then as soon as Christmas is over, like the day after Christmas, every year, it's like an emotional like spiral. So that's kind of a thing I guess I need to like prepare for more. I think this year I did, because like, I mean, I reduced like I'm basically working half days, like a bunch of days for like the whole last 6 weeks, just because so I haven't really worked a full week at all this year, like at all. And I have like more of these like staggered half days or random days off for the next few weeks. So it's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system when I actually have to work like a real week, I think. So that'll be fun. Oh man. I'm trying not to get too caught up in work. I think that's the other thing too, is that like my mission as a Starseed is not to work. It's not to do my job and make money for another company. Like that's not, has nothing to do with my mission. That's just a means to an end. It's just a way that I can, you know, pay the bills so that I can live the rest of my life and focus on my mission. And I think I lose sight of that sometimes. I get too caught up in what pays the bills, and I don't realize that that's not my mission, you know. And sometimes like the people that I talk to, I get really connected and really close with certain people, and I really want to like keep them as friends like forever. But sometimes the mission dictates that I have to let people go and I have to move on. And I don't like that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that. But mission comes first, unfortunately, for as much as I try to fight it. But the universe gets its way, like always. So I don't know. I think the bigger thing right now is accept sometimes if you have emotional ups and downs, right? Just kind of accept it, like learn from yourself, journal it so that you know what you go through. You might find out that every year it's a very similar pattern. It might be slightly different depending on external situations, but for the most part, your emotional like situation is going to be, ooh, that's so cool. Bells. Hey. I don't know if you hear it, but there's church bells in the back, and it's sunny. See, I'm feeling better. See, that's it. That little thing right there, noticing the church bells, feeling that feeling of like, like that. I wasn't feeling that for like 2 months, man. It sucked. Like every little thing, music wasn't doing it. Like watching funny things, I was like, you know, even talking to people that I really enjoy talking to, I was just kind of like, So yeah. So I'm sorry for those of you who know me, and I'm sorry for any of you who like actually watch these videos and like were wanting to see more of them. I totally thought I was gonna make more of them, and you know, lack of willpower and or annoyance with rain, whatever. But hey, I'm going to continue to make these when I can, even though I don't really know what we're talking about. Like right now it's just emotional stuff. So yeah, that was the point, right? Here we go, circle back. Accept the fact that you might have like a wave, right? Sometimes it's monthly, sometimes it's yearly, sometimes you have monthly patterns, sometimes you have a monthly pattern and a yearly pattern that are like, I think for me, that's the thing. I have like a cycle with the moon, but then it also, there's a cycle that is annual as well, like a bigger cycle. So when I'm at my lowest point during like my lowest like month part of my cycle during this time of year, which was, ironically, it was during the Chinese New Year, right? Because that was like the new moon. So that was the lowest point. That was the day that I was at my lowest point, was the January, the New Year in January 29th or whatever that was. I was just emotionally gone. Like I just, you know, it's like I'm really sad, I think, and I don't know why. Nothing is making me sad. I should be fine. And I think that's the thing, is right now I'm starting to realize, yeah, wait, no, I'm fine. Like, nothing's making me sad. Like, I'm reflecting a lot. I do this time of year. I reflect on my past. I don't know if that's good or bad. I try to do it so that I can find things that might still be like a trigger for me, and like rework it in my mind so I can try to let go of something from the past. And I found a couple of things from my past, just like old friends and stuff that I've lost contact with, that just kind of made me a little bit sad when I thought about it, you know? And it made me realize that, like, I don't know. Like, I don't really understand people, I think, after being on this planet for 30-something years and honestly being a reincarnated soul who's been on this planet many, many times. You'd think I'd have figured these people out, but I don't understand people. Really, I don't. I just don't. Like, I don't know. I, I'm I don't even understand myself sometimes. So I think that's the bigger thing. Like, I would love to say that like all the people that I'm like close friends with right now in my life, that I'm gonna do everything I can to maintain friendships with these people over the next like 10 or 20 years. But looking back on the last 10 or 20 years, I can't say that because I have done jack shit, honestly. To track down or maintain friendships with like 90% of the people that I've known. And that is 100% on me. Like, in my mind, I figure if they haven't tried to talk to me, then why should I bother? Like, I don't want to interfere. I have this weird inferiority complex where I figure that like if I was to like find somebody from like my high school days, or even like God forbid find somebody from like elementary school, Jesus, that like getting an email from me would not, they wouldn't care. They'd be like, who, what, why, you know? And I just don't care. But yet I'm the other way. If anybody from my past was to send me an email or a text or a phone call, I'd be like, oh my God, we have to catch up. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But I don't believe that's the case with other people when it comes to me. Shit, I don't even think the people that know me now are that interested in talking to me all the time. I'm kind of like, I don't know, difficult, I guess. I'm a difficult human. I don't know. I'm learning how to be functional, like in friendships and in like, you know, work-related teams and things like that. I'm learning how to do better at that. But like, I don't know, man. Like all my past lives where I'm not on this planet, where I'm like in space and shit, like there is a much more clearly defined like what your role is, what everyone else's roles are, like people are much more. I think it's because in most of my lives that I'm off planet, I have telepathy. I have the ability. Most beings in space have the ability to communicate telepathically. In fact, it's not just an ability; it's kind of just normal. So you can't necessarily lie to people or hide emotions or feelings from people, thus forcing everyone to be a little bit more, I don't know, honest and harmonious. So there's no guessing. You're not like having a conversation with a person guessing, oh God, are they annoyed with me? Did I just offend them? No, you know the moments that you offend a person, you know. And I think humans have this ability. I think we have it deep down inside to tune into this and have that same knowledge when you're having a conversation with a person, to know deep down inside. But I think the bigger problem is the other person on the other side has to be honest with themselves. And I think we filter things so much that even if we are offended, we try to lie to ourselves and pretend like we're not, because we don't want to offend the person who offended us by telling them they've offended us. Anyone who knows me knows if I've offended you, tell me I've offended you. I will assess. I will go, oh shit, didn't know that. Let me reassess how I communicate. Like, I'm trying to constantly learn. I feel like I'm a freaking robot. But back to the original point, don't beat yourself up if you're seasonally depressed. It happens. Try to get sunshine if you can. It helps. Journal and keep track of your emotional ups and downs. And, you know, be willing to give other people a break if people have been harsh or overly sensitive, or if people haven't, whatever. Like, for me, I text people sometimes. You know, I have friends that I communicate with, and sometimes I get a little surprised when, like, days can go by and people don't respond to me, like, at all. Sometimes I'm not surprised. I don't know. There's certain people where it's like, whatever, you know, I expect it. I wish I didn't expect it. I'm going to be honest. I really did. I really wish that everybody was like me when it came to that, because like if somebody sends me a text 99.99% of the time, I'm going to respond within like an hour if I see it. And the only times I don't respond is if it's like there's really no reason to, you know? But I realize 99% of the texts that I send to people, there's no reason for them to respond. I don't want them to respond. I mean, I do, but I don't. It's like if I wanted them to respond, I would very specifically ask a question. But I don't like forcing responses from people, because usually I'm sending texts to people who I feel are busy with their lives, and I'm just checking and saying hi. And at the end of the day, if that's all I'm doing is checking in and saying hi, I don't really need them to respond. And I'm learning this, and I'm trying to program myself this, that I don't need other people to respond to me to validate the fact that I can just check in and say hi to people, you know? So if you have those kind of situations where you check in and say hi to people and they don't respond, don't hate them, don't hate yourself. Just accept the fact that not everybody is the way that you are. Yeah. be emotionally forgiving with yourself and other people, because this last few months has been rough, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, for me, it's been rough. I'm sure other people have experienced it as well. Politically rough, obviously with what's going on in the news. You know, the fact that I'm not wearing a face mask and I'm out in public, that's because I'm a naive American. I trust the fact that things are going to be fine. Watch. Just watch. Watch what happens. That's all right. Look, I'd love to say that the rest of this year is going to be hunky-dory and great and everything's going to be super great and groovy and happy, but that's not the case. It's an election year in America. That means chaos and bitterness and divisiveness, and that's not going to end in November. That's only going to, it's only going to be more inflamed. So good luck to those of you in this country. To those of you outside of this country who watch me, cool. Wherever you are, enjoy yourselves. I'll try to do more videos, and I'm sorry this one's been more of a rambling whatever, but you know, it's been a while. I'm out of practice. Bye.